What's up, y'all? It is your girl, Sarah from Sarah Styles here. I'm tired. Welcome. We are in the new house. The move is done. Now it's just to put everything away, but moving during a pandemic with 2 little kids is no joke for sure. So thanks for joining. If you are new to the channel, I am a reseller on various different platforms. I also do data analytics for resale sellers to help you hit your monetary goals. That is what this channel and my Instagram are dedicated to, showing you doing data analytics, providing you with the tools that you need to hit your monetary goals, looking at the numbers, looking at the facts to get you to where you want to go. And that can be a side hustle, part-time to full-time. I want to make 100,000. I want to be a 3-figure seller. So that if you like content like that and you're new, make sure to subscribe, hit the notifications. Today we are doing, give a thumbs up on the way out. Leave questions down below if you have them. Leave questions in the chat if you have them as well. Today we are chatting. I'm doing a Wednesday chat with Chris. There we go. With Chris from Daily Refinement. So we have started a mentorship, probably a year long, but we'll see how long it takes me to get there. Mentorship for me to make $1,000 net a week reselling. So I have teamed up with Chris for that mentorship. My videos, I'm doing a video with him on his channel once a week for the mentor program, but then every Wednesday at 6 p.m. I have him here to chat with my followers and then do maybe some follow-up things or, hot topics of what's happening in the reseller world right now. So this is Chris from A Daily Refinement. If you are not following him, definitely make sure to follow him. He has great content on his channel. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Oh, I'm here. It's been quite the week, but we're here and everything's in the new house. So that's always a bonus. So today I kind of wanted to chat with you. You put out a video, and if you guys have been following, eBay has a new CEO. He's from Walmart, I think, right? He's a CEO previous of Walmart, worked at eBay before. And so I kind of wanted to just chat with you a little bit about that and kind of where you're hoping the CEO will take eBay, things that can improve. And then also in my weekly mentorship, we talked about improving listing and photos and stuff. So I kind of did some scenarios there that I wanted to chat with you about. So eBay, the new CEO, I know he's from Walmart, if there's anything else
So
that I missed in there. Yeah.
he was an executive at Walmart. He was a CEO of Sam's Club for a while. And the hedge fund that they bought two seats at the eBay board, and they want a CEO that has no e-commerce experience. They want a business CEO, not a tech CEO, which is very normal, right? And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, one, it's not really. I'm not important, but like as far as the CEO goes, I would rather they have a business person than a tech person. But it doesn't affect us too much because the user experience as a seller hasn't changed in a long time. So the things that we want as sellers, I don't think the CEO has anything to do with it. So unfortunately, like making fees more transparent or the listing flow easier, I don't think is going to affect us. However, if he's really good at because Sam's Club is what he was a CEO of, is a membership type site.
Yeah.
And if eBay were to become like a membership type site or something, that would be interesting because if you're a member, usually you end up paying more for stuff because Costco doesn't really offer discounts. They just have good stuff at reasonable prices.
That you pay. Or like Amazon Prime where you pay for like the...
Exactly.
Yeah.
And with that membership money, eBay could do some interesting stuff.
Yeah. But so even if they don't move over to a membership, high level, the CEO wants to make money. And so some of the things that you were talking about, if they make sellers happy, if they are bringing more sellers and making things better, then that would filter down to making, at a high level, him having bigger stuff.
I don't think so. This is the reason why I bring this up. The previous CEO was brought in to make profit. So what he did was strip out everything that wasn't related to profit and raised fees and didn't offer anything different. So when you raise prices for sellers and don't offer anything, you keep all that extra money without having to spend any of it into the company. The new CEO, I think, is brought in for a different reason, because eBay was insanely profitable under the previous CEO. They actually had less revenue. So overall sales for sellers went down per seller. More sellers, so on average per seller, we're making less, but eBay made way more money, even though the total amount of money that came in, the profit into the
So they
shareholders
were
pocket
ready.
was awesome. But now I don't know. I think it depends. I think that they are in the business to make money, but not for us, for the stockholders.
Yeah,
So,
but another route to do that is to bring in more sellers and make sellers happy, especially because now you have so many other sites out there that if people aren't happy on eBay, they can go elsewhere, where that hasn't always been quite the.
I agree with that. I think the easiest way for them to make more profit is just to make eBay better.
Right. Yeah.
That it would make more sense. The reason why Amazon kills eBay is because it's better. You can order something, you know exactly how much it's going to cost. You can return it for any reason, and there's no confusion. You don't have to figure out shipping. You've already paid Prime. Everything is free shipping.
From a buyer's perspective, because
Right.
I don't sell on Amazon.
Right. That's what I mean from a buyer's perspective.
Oh yeah, but from a seller's perspective, is it better on Amazon as well, or I've heard it's more complex?
I think it depends on if you're looking at more people make a living selling on Amazon.
Yeah.
But it's not easier.
Right. But you have a higher market because the buyers are happier.
And
this is something that you brought up, and I thought it was such a good point with the influencer program, because I do the same thing. I have an affiliate link to an Amazon store, so I'm pushing people to Amazon. And even as an eBay reseller, I go to Amazon first. Like when I'm looking for something, I go to Amazon first.
If I want something, I'll go to Amazon first.
Yeah, right. And so that's a valid point. So hopefully they can do competition. But I think trying to make eBay a little bit more like or closer competition with Amazon is also going to make it harder on resellers as well, because that makes it more complex.
Which I think is good. I think everyone, and the purpose of my channel and my mentorship with you is to make everyone better. Yeah. Because it's going to get harder, because as websites get better, they're not scrappy. Scrappy is like Craigslist. Anything goes, whatever. When it starts to be like Walmart is serious. You walk into Walmart and it's pretty much the best deal on every single item. It's very different than, like, I'm not a fan of the shopping experience at Walmart, but their pricing is insane. It's the best deal on almost everything in the store.
Yeah.
To sell at Walmart is go ahead.
Yeah, well, so it depends on where they want to go. If they want to give a little bit more of an experience for the buyer, or just cheap goods. But exactly. You have so many other platforms to compete with, where like Poshmark is probably a little bit more about like the experience, right, than eBay maybe. Well, I'm excited to see where it goes. I am a new eBay seller. I've only been on 6 months. It is definitely very complex compared to other platforms, but I do appreciate, as I learn it more, the complexities are actually beneficial to sellers. So if you're new out there and you're trying to learn eBay, it is worth it, because a lot of those complexities that they offer are to help the sellers, help them, but also help the sellers do better. They give you data analytics, they give you bulk editing, things to make your processes faster, and all of that as well. So if there's anything else you wanted to touch on about the new eBay CEO, if not, we can go on to... Or if anyone in the comments too have any questions about the new CEO.
So my last thought on the CEO is just, I'm happy that there's some change. And I think that the starting from last year, when that company bought like 10% of eBay, that company bought 10% of eBay because they thought eBay was being run poorly. Okay, and saying like there's room for eBay to be a lot better. So let's make eBay a lot better so that it's not losing money losing revenue when every other company is like double, quadruple the amount of traffic. Why is eBay overall going down? So I think I'm overall very optimistic. I don't know about eBay in general. So that's my last thought.
Yeah, and I agree too. I've watched some of your stuff, and I agree. If you can hunker down during this time and keep business as usual, even things are going to dip, but if you can come out of the dip, you're going to be in a really good position from a business perspective. So if you can figure out ways to hunker down during this time and make your business work, you're definitely, I'm optimistic as too. I think a lot of people are going to be moving more towards e-commerce and not necessarily wanting to shop out as much. Deborah says she's been using eBay more as a buyer now than Amazon. Delivery dates are all over the place, which I also think is a valid point too, because like I ordered a desk and the delivery date's like 2 weeks, which is not why you do Amazon. It's because you're supposed to get it in like a day. And so that's going to actually help drive people, I think, to eBay as well. So it could be really exciting times right now as a reseller. Try and think positive. I know a lot of people are having rough times out there. So I wanted to move on to so I'm doing the mentorship with you, and last week we kind of talked, or this week, whenever I don't know when you're dropping the video. So I don't know when it's on his channel, but we talked about doing making processes faster. And one of the things was photography and listing. And you said that you listed items from photography until putting them away in, was it 6 minutes? Was like mind blowing to me. So I did some different scenarios to try and figure out what was the quickest way for me. And so we can kind of talk about it and your thoughts on it as well. So when starting on eBay, I have a lister. I start on eBay. She does the listing for me, and then I cross post it myself to Poshmark, which is pretty easy with List Perfectly. But getting it into eBay, I was taking photos and then uploading it into eBay. So that takes me, if I take a photo and then upload it into eBay, like at a later time, that was taking me about 4.5 minutes. So taking the photo and then, on average 4.5 minutes per listing. That doesn't include her time spent listing. If I was doing it directly from the eBay app, it was about 3 minutes a listing. So definitely much lower.
What is the breakdown? How much of it is photography?
Yeah, so 1.9, and this is like an average. I did like 20 photos, so it's weird numbers, but 1.9 minutes per photo. And so what I do is this is what I normally do. So I'm efficient, and I'm going to do all my shirts at one time. I have everything set up, boom, boom, boom. Like I get in a flow, and I do it for like an hour or two. And so 1.9 minutes per photo if I just do it on my phone, and then it was taking me about 2.5 minutes to upload per item because it's taking a while to upload. And something that my husband had mentioned, a lot of the times when I'm uploading is when other people are on computers, because it's when I have time to myself. So like a kid is on a tablet or someone's watching a show. And so that's slowing down the processing time. But that's when I have time to do it, right? Like it's hard for me to do it when the kids are right there needing me.
Have you finished with your thought?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so I was just thinking, I tried it. So last week I kind of asked you to time it, and I tried to figure out what was taking so long on the photo uploading part. So in my storage, I use a hotspot. So it's not the best internet, right?
Yeah.
So maybe a similar example to you at home when there's a high traffic time of day. It takes me around 2 minutes per photo. So same. I would say your photo 2 minutes off. It can take a little bit longer to take pictures of measurements, or if you take measurements at the same time, that can add to it. Let's say from 2 to 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I
Have
do.
you had that
Yeah, I do all my measurements in my photos.
during the photos or in the photos?
In the photos.
Okay, perfect. So in the photos, 2 minutes is that's fantastic. So then let's say I'm pulling up the listing, either from scratch or in my scenario, you sell similar. I go in, I upload the photos, and then I start I fill out the listing. So from my experience so far, I am always done with the listing before it's done uploading the photographs, which means that in that 2.5 minutes while you're waiting, I would have already completed the listing, except for the business policies. So I'm just going down. I'm not entering in shipping. Now I'm not entering in the anymore, because I just added that custom SKU. So now my custom SKU is where it is, my internal SKU, and how much it weighs. And that number will give me an idea so if it's 0 to 15.9, that's the first class. or I'll write padded flat rate, or I'll write cubic in that number.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
then when I'm doing the adjustments I'm adding the shipping policies after the fact, and that's taking about not even 10 seconds a listing on the back end.
Yeah.
So for me, the total listing on if we're doing it the way that you're doing it, I would have finished the draft during the 2.5 minutes, because I have to wait the 2.5 minutes anyway.
Yeah. And for me, I pay someone else to do it because it takes me
Mhm.
like the research.
That
I
makes
think
sense.
that's my my least
Yeah.
favorite thing to do.
Mhm.
But then you made me realize that it's not being very efficient because then I'm waiting 2.5 minutes. Maybe I should just be spending that time, maybe filling out how. I don't know. I'm interested
Yeah.
in your thoughts on it.
And this is the reason why I use Cellhound, because they do that part that your VA is doing, and the Cellhound process is only 1 minute. So this is a fantastic conversation.
Yeah, what does Cellhound do? I mean, I look up comps on there and stuff, but I didn't know they had
So you did the opposite of me. Cellhound, that searching for comp thing is excellent, and I didn't use it until recently.
yeah.
But also, I don't talk about this on my channel, but that's how my scouts figure out what they get paid when they buy stuff from me, is that front end of Cellhound. But so when you go to the Cellhound process of uploading the photos, that part only take 1 minute to upload the photos and fill it out.
It fills it out for you?
It they fill it out for you after 24 hours. So you upload the photos.
But it's a service that you pay for through them.
Mhm.
And how much
Yeah.
is
So it's roughly it's between $1.25 and $1.50 an item. So I don't know what you're paying your VA to fill out the rest of the item specifics.
I pay her $1 an item, and
Yeah.
she's been on
So
eBay for like 13 years and like goes out and like really researches things when I don't have a lot of stuff.
and according to eBay, I'm sorry, according to Cellhound, they have that person working for them.
Interesting.
So they're saying that actually, technically, what they're saying is a robot guesses from your pictures, then a VA overseas does the best they can, then a US based virtual assistant who has 10 years of experience goes in and makes your listing as best as they can. Now, I don't think they're as good as your lady. I would highly doubt it. The only reason why I use it because the turnaround, it's always one day,
Yeah.
business day-ish. So like I'm launching a certain amount every day, and I have maybe a 2-week queue. So the reason I use it is the 1 minute part versus 2.5 minutes in your process. And
Yeah.
also, yeah, that's the full, yeah,
Can you do it
this
from a
is great.
Yeah, can you do it from a phone? Or is it only on a computer?
Only from the phone.
Oh, you can.
Only from the phone.
Oh, okay. Because that's my other issue too. Because I tried to do it on my computer, thinking it might speed things up, but I'm not. It's much easier with the little kids to be on my phone. Like well, right now we're not at the park, but we'll be somewhere and I can just do a couple real quick and not have to be strapped to my computer. Well, I may look into that if they have a trial or something. Because speeding that up, I mean, 1 minute times 100 listings a month, is almost 2 hours of waiting time.
Well, it's also not dealing with that virtual assistant.
Yeah, but I actually really like her.
No, I
I'm
know you like it.
yeah,
And I'm not saying your way is good or bad. I'm just
yeah, I
saying
mean,
there's a difference.
she's cheaper and she's actually really helpful because she gives me a lot of knowledge on eBay as well. She's like, "Well, have you thought about shipping like this? And maybe you should ship like that and try that." Like she gives me, I feel like I'm paying for a lot of her eBay knowledge as well.
Mhm.
That I don't know how Southampton, like they would probably just do the listing where she was like, well, I did this listing and I do, like she's giving me a lot of her eBay knowledge as I got onto eBay, which I thought was really worth it. But the time, all right, well, I'll look into it. When I did it so I did it directly from the eBay app as well.
Mhm.
And that took me less time, but you can't edit on there. And I edit some of my photos.
Yeah, I would take the photos outside of the app.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
quicker, but it wasn't as good. Okay, well, I'm interested how people in the comments do things as well. if people have used Sellhound. Michelle says that she loves Sellhound for comps also. I have not used them for listing yet, but interested in knowing how it works. So I'll definitely look into that. I think in any way I'm setting things up in my studio too to try and be more proficient too as we have as we're moving, because I can set things up however I want. So I think that will help as well. And I know we mentioned too talking about modeled versus hanging, and I did those too, and it takes me the exact same time to do a modeled shot as it does a hanging shot.
Okay.
And they look better. I think
Yeah.
so.
The model shot is unquestionably, not only does it look better, it converts better.
Yeah. Well, and
So
that was one of the things too, was most of my model shots I don't have to edit, where a lot of my hanging shots, there's some kind of editing that I have to do, and I don't use stock photos. And so I think a hanging photo compared to a stock photo of something, definitely someone's going to buy the stock photo item if I can try and compare to that as well. Okay, well, that's all I had for today. If there's anything that you want to chat about, or people in the, oh, hey, Jacob, thanks for joining. If there's any questions that we have in the comments for Chris as well, I'll give that a minute, or if there's anything that you wanted to chat about.
I have one last thought. So I figured out what it was. I've been thinking about, because I've been talking to you for like a month, trying to figure out what it is that is holding you back.
Yeah.
Okay, not that, if it was something. And I
Yeah.
think what it is would be you are overly talented. Okay, so as an example, I am not talented, so I have to write down everything that I'm doing, because I can't do it if I don't do it that way. But what that does is it allows somebody else to do it, because I've written down sort of the instructions of how I'm doing it. You can naturally on the fly talk to 4 different people and do stuff. I can't. I'm like too single-minded to be able to do that. So when I was thinking about that, when people are really highly talented, it makes their businesses difficult to scale, because they do everything so well. It's hard to replicate. So, as an example, your lady is also very good, very difficult to replace. This makes it harder. But as an example, this is like on the other end of the spectrum, but In-N-Out is like my favorite restaurant, because of the fact that it's almost always the same. McDonald's is not always the same. If you've been to McDonald's, what you get is not on what is on the commercial. In-N-Out's pretty close, and everyone has a smile, and I feel like they can't really screw it up because it's designed so well. And so, but it's not based on talent. It's based on, if you have a good personality, you can work there. And for you, you know how to do it so well. But when I was trying to figure out how you model your day, you had to say, well, I had to slow down my day to write it down, when
Yeah.
I could have just done it. And that's true. But I'm saying that's so in the mentorship on my end, we're going to try to outline these steps like you did. I'm glad that you figured out it's 1.9 and 2.5, because now we know.
Yeah.
So the proficiency of somebody taking photos, this is great. That means, because this is my expectation, I'm expecting people who take photos for me to do it in 2 minutes with no measurements. So for you, doing 1.9 minutes with measurements means you have some skill in doing that. But that makes me feel good, because I know that my expectations aren't slave labor, like it's legit. Someone could actually do it,
Do it. Yeah.
right? So
And I
this
think
is great.
I think the big part of being able to do it is have things prepped and ready to go, and
Yeah.
like the space to do it. Like I have different spaces to do everything, and you can move through it. I mean, I feel like that's kind of a compliment that I can do everything. I think part of
Oh,
what
it's a compliment, and it also holds you back.
yes, right.
Yeah.
And I think part of, to feed into that even more, is I want to have my hands in like 7 different baskets, where like the reselling, the YouTube, and the dashboard, and I want to do it all. And then I also have 3 children. And so that's where I think you can help me too, is like finding ways to be more efficient, or outsource, or get to where we need to go because of that. And I don't
So
mind. I'm all for paying someone else to do things. I'm not a control freak in the sense of, as long as they can do it, do it. Like I'm not going to pay someone to do a bad listing, but if they can do it, like have at it.
I also want to share that today I did an interview with Suzanne Cannon and Tiffany, the 2 ladies who do Infinity Rain on Poshmark. and they are the largest Poshmark sellers. They've done like 50,000 orders, more than $1 million in sales on Poshmark. I think they might be the only sellers who've done $1 million on Poshmark. They have 2 people who help them. Both of the people who help them have 3 kids. And so I'm thinking, okay, the founder lady has 2 kids. Both of the people who work there have 3 kids. Okay. That's a lot. That's 8 between 3 people already. And they are the most productive as far as sales Poshmark store ever. Right. They did, and they did 300,000 in the wholesale portal and like over $1 million in the retail portal. And I'm thinking, busy people, they do it. So I would say the most common thing that I've noticed from resellers who do really well, and one of the reasons why I picked you is you are still alive and have a kids and run that. I don't know how you do it. So much stuff.
I'm tired.
You're tired.
Nerve in my neck is how I do it. Yeah, but I think someone was telling me there's a saying. Oh, Lori from Lori Boston Finds. She's has a great channel too. But if you want to get something done quickly and right, give it to the busiest person, which I think is true because I am very good at time management. If I have 20 minutes, I'm doing a listing where like I have 8 hours. It's like, oh, I'll get to it later, right? And so I think that's why you see a lot of moms and dads who are stay-at-home parents. They are very good with time management and getting things done. My husband says he wishes, or man, give me 1 million on Posh. We'll get there, Nick. We'll get there. So I don't think more.
Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that. Yeah, if you want something done, give it to a busy person. That's the best advice. Just people who are busy already understand how valuable their time is. You don't have to train that. They already get it. If someone's like, oh, I can come and help you anytime, wrong person. Definitely the wrong person.
I know.
If they respond to your ad 5 minutes after you post it, wrong person.
Michelle says, yes, I try to fit in what I can when I can be a stay-at-home mom with a small business, stay busy all the time. She also has 2 kids and one is a 2-year-old. That's the hardest one because they get into everything. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. If you guys are new to my channel, we are doing a weekly live with Chris on my channel every Wednesday at 6 p.m. So make sure to hit the notification with the bell so you get notified when I schedule. I will put the next one up so you can hit notifications on that, but it'll be every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Just chatting about the mentorship. And then if there's any new hot topics, you guys are also welcome to bring your questions as well. He has so much knowledge and really great to help you guys take it to the next level, which is why I've reached out and I'm really excited for this mentorship. If you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. Leave a comment on your way out. If you guys do have questions and this is after the live, you can leave comments down below for me, or I'll make sure that Chris gets notified if they are for him as well. His information is in the description if you want to follow him on YouTube as well. Thank you, everybody. I hope everyone is staying safe and sane in whatever capacity is best for them and their family during this time, and have a good night.
Bye, guys.